Welcome to the Leadership TKO podcast, your source of strategies and insight to make you a winning leader. With no further ado, here is your host, Lakeisha McKnight. All right, everybody. Lakeisha McKnight is indeed here. I want to welcome you to the Leadership TKO podcast. And I'm super excited to be here this evening, super duper excited on this wonderful evening, indeed, of September. So glad to be here. It's about 9:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, recording live from Chesapeake, Virginia, right here in the States. So welcome to the show. Remember, this podcast is a part of the radio station, Leadership TKO Radio, that's housed under the iLead company. And iLead stands for the International Leadership Education and Development Company, LLC, right? Super excited. Now, remember, the LLC, Limited Liability Company, and this company actually has a branch in Nigeria, Africa, and we're just going to check them out in October as we are heading on over there with our campaign, the Born to Lead campaign. Now, I will share more information about the Born to Lead campaign in just a few moments. But we had a special event that was going to happen this evening, but I'm going to share with you why the agenda for today had to be changed, okay? I know some of you are expecting one thing versus the other, but it's totally okay. Totally okay. The programming moves onward, but there's a reason, a legitimate reason why we had to shift some things around. But remember, on Thursdays, it's Pro Speaker Thursday. That's right. Pro Speaker Thursday on today. So we're serving speakers on tonight. So before we even dive into anything, let's go ahead and share this episode. Go ahead and share it. I am going to share this episode in a few places. So you want to just bear with me just for a few while I am doing that. The first place where I'm sharing this right now, we have special groups, right? That caters to speakers. And so I'm going to ask them and let them know, hey, we're live. Come on and join in. So feel free to share with your network even as I am doing this. So join in with me as I am now serving speakers. Okay, so I'm doing that. And feel free to share on your social media platforms there that you utilize, because I am doing the same thing. I like to share the love. And it's easy for me to just say, you know what, I'm just going to keep it to myself. But that doesn't do me any good at all, right? To be selfish, to have a selfish mindset like that. And it doesn't do anyone any good to have that type of mindset. So sharing is caring. Feel free to go ahead and share and let people know that we're live, especially those individuals whom aspire to be speakers, or they're speakers currently right now. I know we have one live listener right now who is always, for the most part, she's here often, and that's Janine Harrod Brown. So Janine, we thank you so much. We see you on the platform. All right, so there's two other additional places before we dive in that I'm going to share, and that is on fan pages, okay, because you definitely want to get them connected. So I'm sharing to my primary fan page right now. So let's go ahead and get that completed. Okay, and then we're going to share to the company's fan page that caters to speakers. And if you're not connected to the Leadership TKO for Speakers fan page, I do encourage you to do that. Okay, and the links, once again, all the links that I'm going to reference during this episode will be found in the description area. So always remember that when we're quoting links, those links will be in the description area. So we're done with the sharing. Okay, I share predominantly on Facebook because that's the platform that I leverage the most. Now, I am connected on YouTube. I'm also on I'm on LinkedIn and Google Plus. I'm on these other platforms, but I heavily heavily leverage Facebook, and it's simply because it's so much easier for me. And I know we're gravitating towards LinkedIn. So if you're connected to LinkedIn in any type of way with us, you want to make sure you do that, because we're going to start heavily using that as well. So thank you so very much for being connected here. Remember, Thursdays are Pro Speaker Thursdays, where we're helping you to leverage your voice, coupled with, your leadership ability to really influence your target market and make a big difference. That's what we're doing here on these Thursdays. So welcome. Now, we had a scheduled interview for today. This is a part of the TKO Global Reality Show that's connected to a campaign that we have going on, right? But because the interviewee actually resides in Texas, for those of you who've been following the news with the natural disasters going on, they're preparing for yet another hurricane to actually arrive in that area. So they're just making sure that they're being prepared and being safe instead of worrying about interviews and all types of other things. So I totally understand that. So that interview is postponed. It may happen at a later date. We're not sure, but that's the reason why we always have a plan B. But even as we do have this plan B, we do invite you to pray for all people, especially those places, those states, those countries, those islands that are being impacted by all of these storms. Continue to pray, everyone. All right. So appreciate each and every one of you again being connected to this show and to this episode. Now, what I am going to let you know is that I'm going to give you some information that's really going to help you to press forward in your speaking career. So whether you are a novice and just getting started, whether you're fairly experienced, or whether you believe that you're at that pro level where, you're getting like that 7,000 and 8,000, or maybe upwards into the teens as far as Keynote fees, it's really, really good to tune in and get a refresher. So again, encourage every speaker to tune in on Thursdays. Our focus for today, we're talking about how to create a winning keynote to match your company's brand. So we're going to focus a lot on that, and then we're going to shift and we're going to talk a little bit about the campaign that I was referencing. Okay. And then there are some other things, some other events that you may want to tune into that's going to really take you to that next level and help you to dive deeper as it pertains to having a strong speaking career. So let's talk about it a minute. A keynote. First of all, what is the keynote message? Whenever you have been appointed to be the keynote speaker for an event, okay, this is where, a meeting planner is hosting an event and they really want to drive home the theme or the message of their event. And the way that they do that is by bringing in a speaker. It may either be internally or externally, a speaker to come in and deliver a message that really speaks to the theme of that special event. And it's normally the keynote speaker is normally the primary speaker of the event. Most keynote speakers get paid. Okay, they have an honorary fee at the front door. So that's just something that is normally noted. There are occasions where, there are special arrangements that are made, and that's something that you would talk about with the planner, okay, of that event. But that's really what a keynote speaker is. So most speakers are encouraged, if you're like that platform on stage type of speakers, because there's various type of speakers out there, then you want to make sure you're creating a keynote speech to be prepared, just in case someone wants you to come in and speak. So what we're talking about tonight is, for your businesses, and everyone have their own industry that they're in, you want to make sure that your message, your keynote message, is created around your company's primary message. And see, this may be difficult for some individuals who have several audiences that they speak to. And this is why we strongly encourage that you fine tune who is your primary market, because then it becomes less confusing and easier when it comes to creating your messages. And so when people are looking for a specific keynote speaker on a topic, they know to call you because that's your central message. But then when you speak to so many groups, okay, so many markets, it becomes confusing to the planner. So what I do encourage you to do is sit back and think about, what is your single most message you want? If someone was to go and speak with you for a couple of seconds, or if they went to your website and visited your website, what is the message that you want to deliver? It's almost like your elevator pitch. That's sort of the central message that you're trying to deliver. Because with your elevator pitch, you're thinking about who you're including who your audience is inside of that pitch. And you're talking about a central problem that they have and what you do to solve it. So with your keynote message, you're actually making a stance on a topic pertaining to an audience. Let me say that one more time. You are communicating your stance, your positioning on a topic pertaining to a certain market because you're solving a problem for them. That topic is a problem that you're solving or a result that you're going to deliver for that audience. Okay? So hopefully you're understanding where we're going with this, even if it's, you're trying to boost the self-esteem of children in the inner city who have been abused. Whatever it might be, I'm just giving you an example here, okay? But you want to think about what your central message is, because that's the message that you want to deliver for your keynote. And you see, your points, or I should say, the main areas within your keynote message should support that central message. So if your central message, you really, with your title of your keynote speech, it's like a shorter version of your central message. And then what you do is you break down that title, and then you have some main points that help support the title. Gives more information. It makes it stronger. Okay. Those main points are like the foundation of a home. Okay, you have the address, or even the name. Some people put the Joneses or whatever it is outside the home. That's like the title of your keynote message. But then the foundation is your main points. That's like the main points to your speech, just like the foundation is to a home. And then you have the walls, you have the windows, you got the, all these things in the inside that helps to build the home. All of those things for a speech would be your supporting points, would be your stories, would be your facts, your statistics, all of these things. So you want to keep that in mind. Even as you are creating, you're formulating your keynote message, it needs to center around your brand, because the more you really fine tune that central message, the easier it will be for a planner to say, I need that person because that person knows their stuff. Because if you make a keynote message centered around your company's brand, and then they go to your website and see all of this stuff pertaining to your brand, it's stronger. And it makes it easier for them to say, you know what? Yep, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 is what I want to pay. It makes it a lot easier. Now, granted, of course, right? There are some things that makes it easier for you to put the keynote speech together. There are some templates out there that are really kind of like just boom, 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 plug and play. Right? And that's something that I'm considering doing in the near future, is helping you to really create that keynote message centered around your brand. So you want to stay tuned for that. All right. What I am going to be doing on my social media profile, hopefully you're connected to me there. Some people miss the opportunity to get a free basic, it's very basic what I'm talking about here, basic profile on the upcoming official Leadership TKO for Speakers site, because we're rebuilding it. We're making a totally separate home for speakers, because we want to cater to you. We want to build you up to be influential speakers. We know the wealth is going to come with it. That's not a problem at all. We want you to be influential. We want there to be substance to your speaking, not just you out there trying to get a dollar. We want substance. And that's what we're going to be doing with Leadership TKO for Speakers. So we're going to be having an official website that's going to be launched. And it's probably going to be sometime after I return from Africa, which will probably be in November sometime. Okay. But for those who want a basic profile, you're going to want to make sure that you're tuned into my timeline, because right after this live recording, I'm going on my profile and we're going to make the announcement once again, just to squeeze those individuals who missed it. And it's going to be a certain limitation to the number of profiles that we can give. Okay. I believe that we're probably going to limit it to 30, and that's it. Okay. 30 profiles, and that's all that we can do. And that's basic profiles. Now, there are going to be ways in which, if you want to upgrade, that's really up to you. That's when we launch the website. If you want to upgrade and get some other elements included on your profile, it's up to you. Because one amazing thing that we're going to probably end up doing eventually is we are going to have somewhat of an area where we're going to market some of the speakers. And that's just some of the perks to being a part of the website. We drive a lot of traffic to our sites, but for those who decide to upgrade and take advantage of other services, we're going to be able to market you and do some other amazing things to help push you forward with your speaking careers. Okay. Another piece that I really want to emphasize right now is if you're not registered for the upcoming webinar, I believe it's September 14th. Hopefully I'm good with the dates, because I have so many things on the schedule. The 14th, we're talking about a blueprint on how you can master the art and the business of speaking. If you're not registered for that, you want to do so, because the webinar is only $7. It's not a lot of money absolutely not a lot of money. You want to make sure you get registered. If you're not registered, you want to do that because after Friday, the cost is going back to, it's not going to be an outrageous price, but it's going back up. But this is just to kind of get people in the door, get you in there and locked in. All right. So the way that you get registered is a simple way. You want to go to the website address, and that's leadershiptkoforspeakers.com. Again, that's leadership, TKO, FOR, speakers.com. You want to go to that website and you want to get registered, as it's only $7 as of tonight. Okay. After tomorrow, right, starting, I guess, midnight and upwards, and probably into the day of the actual webinar event, it's going to be a different price. Okay. Just to let you know. All right. So that's just a little information about speaking and really trying to create that profitable keynote message that's going to encourage people to want to really plug you in and hire you for their events. And I do encourage you, if you don't have a coach, get a coach. Save yourself some time. Okay. Save yourself some time. You want to do that so that you'll be able to really go forward. Okay. You'll be able to really, really go forward and make a bigger difference. Okay. Make a bigger difference as it pertains to your speaking business. So I do want to check in. I want to ask a huge question of those listening right now. Are you a woman? That's number one. Then, do you believe that you were born to lead? If you believe that you're born to lead and you are a woman and you're listening to this, it is your time to get connected, to really rise to the call of leadership and to be a voice for women in your city, in your state, in your country. And I charge you to rise to that call. You see, there are over 1,500 women in a group on Facebook, and they've inquired about standing up and being that voice and wanting to be a part of something great. And this is the Born to Lead Global Women's Leadership Campaign. The Born to Lead Global Women's Leadership Campaign. And you are encouraged to be a part of that if you're not a part of it already. Okay, if you're not a part of it already. So I encourage you to get connected. And there are reasons why you want to be connected. Not only, number one, will you have a support network of 1,500 or more women wanting to see you be successful, because there are situations and settings where you feel that women are not as supportive as you would want them to be. But in this environment, with the Born to Lead campaign here, there are women who want to see you succeed. And we really want to see you succeed. And so the way that you can do this is by visiting a website, and you want to make sure you're going to do this on a desktop or on a laptop computer, because if you try to do it on a cell phone, you're probably going to face an error. Okay, so avoid a cell phone by all means if you're going to register to be a member of the campaign, and it's absolutely free. So the website address that you're going to want to visit is www.borntolead2017.com. Again, that's www.borntolead2017.com. So you're going to want to visit that website. And you're going to want to grab a hold of that information. And you want to read it. You want to complete the questionnaire, and it takes less than 2 minutes to do. And then you're going to want to make sure that you hit the submit button. Hit the submit button, and it's going to take you over to a group on Facebook where all the members of the campaign, where they're hanging out. All right. So once you're there, request to join the group, and we will let you in. And at that point, you will be an official member of the campaign. And so it's just that simple. Now, when you join and you become a member of the campaign, there's several things that are going to happen. You're going to probably find out about the life skills mentorship that happens on Mondays. You're going to learn about the business and the leadership training, and then also the solutions forums. This is Women's Solutions Forum, and I need to announce the forum for the month of September. So stay tuned for that. You're probably going to see a notification about that pretty soon. Okay. Stay tuned, because you will get a notification about the forum. And we're probably going to do a forum that's going to replace, maybe there's a Thursday where we don't have an interview scheduled. We're going to have a forum on that day, and it should be a Thursday. I think it's another Thursday in this month where we're not going to have an interview. So we're probably going to have the forum on that day. You're going to get a notification if you're a member of Facebook, and if you are part of the campaign group already. You're going to get a notification on Facebook, and it'll say something about the forum. And we're going to talk a lot about women's issues, current women's issues that we should be focusing on, organizations that cater to solutions for those concerns. And if there are some issues out there that don't have solid solutions to them, we're going to think about whether this campaign should rise to that call and provide solutions for that issue. All right. Every issue may not be something that we deal with. We know that we're not super women. We do understand, but we're going to try to do our best to be of help as much as we can. All right. So please make sure that if you want to be a part of something great, if you want to join this campaign, visit that website. Once again, borntolead2017.com. You'll be able to be a voice for women in your state, your country, where you reside, and help them to get the solutions they need to issues such as sex trafficking, domestic violence, sexual harassment, wage inequality, physical health issues, mental health issues, all of these things that we face, that we can provide solutions for. This is what you want to really be a guide for. Okay, a guide for. So we thank you so much for those of you who are going to come on board and join us with the campaign. And we look forward to connecting with you, because as soon as you join in, I'm quite sure you probably may get a couple of friend requests from some of the members of the campaign. So thank you for those of you who decided to plunge in and get started with this campaign. Understand also that we're going to be announcing the Small Business Saturday. I know I mentioned this last week as well. But we are going to do that. I'm probably gonna throw in a Facebook event for that, so that everyone who's a member of the campaign group, you'll be informed. This is how I'm going to try to keep you informed of our events and such, is through Facebook events. That's like the best way that I can do it, because you'll get notifications like that. Okay, so definitely be plugged in. Know that we're trying to keep things flowing and moving, and also understand that even as we're transitioning, and this is the latter part of 2017, as long as God gives us a drive to push this forward with this campaign, we'll keep moving forward. And this also means that we're probably going to have new leadership in place. So we have our launch leaders who set the foundation. We understand, but we're going to build upon that in 2018. And so there are going to be some torch bearers, meaning that the torch of leadership is going to be passed on to additional leaders in 2018. So, of course, I'm being prayerful about who is going to be placed in some positions, and definitely are prepared to move the campaign forward. Okay. All right. So, of course, we're not going to drag our feet any longer. Once again, continue to pray for those people who are in states and countries where all this bad weather is happening, because it's really, really bad in a lot of areas where they don't have power. The diseases and sicknesses is running rampant because of all that's going on. It's just terrible. So please pray. Please send your support as you are able. Do what you can do in this time of need. And we do encourage you also, as you're learning more about Leadership TKO, we do encourage you to visit our website, which is leadershiptko.com. That's where you're going to find out more information about what it is we do and who we serve. Remember that, the whole idea behind Leadership TKO is partnering up with associations, small businesses, universities, as well as faith-based groups to build winning leaders. That's what we're here to do. And then also, for those of you who are interested and you have a call, you like, you know what, man, I really want to reach women through radio. I want to reach, teachers, whomever it may be, through radio. We always open the door for those of you who want to be a co-host on our radio station, because our station is connected to iHeartRadio. And the best thing about it is with our station too, is that it's also heard on iTunes and in other places, because we have an app. So for those who use their Androids a lot, they're able to plug in via their Android as well. We have over 20 countries who tune in to the podcast. I know I review the countries sometimes, and many of you probably heard me say this, and I do thank you. For those of you who do reside in another country and you tune in, we appreciate you, and we're praying for you, because we know some of you face a lot of this nasty weather that's going on. But we know that there are many of you from Germany, from South Africa, from Pakistan, Croatia, from France, Hungary, Norway. We see that many of you are from the United Kingdom, definitely throughout the United States. Wow, there's a lot of you. There are a lot of different countries here. Greece, we do see Greece up there. Thank you so very much for tuning in. There's so many of you from various places, and we appreciate you. We appreciate your listenership and you being connected to Leadership TKO. Now, remember, on tomorrow, it is Fitness Friday, and we cater to those of you who really want to be in good health so that you can make a bigger impact in the world today. So you want to make sure you're tuning in big time, big time. Now, I will tell you this, that we did write a special message. We did write a special message on the blog, okay? We do have a blog. Yes, indeed. It's the TKO Global blog. We do have a blog in place, and we did write a special message for speakers as well. So you want to make sure that you visit the blog. The link is also going to be added into the description area as well. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone. We're going to be back here tomorrow night at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But until then, I do encourage each and every one of you to think, to speak, and to live leadership. Thanks for listening to the Leadership TKO podcast. To continue the conversation of how to take your leadership from good to great, visit www.leadershiptko.com.